Welcome to the On Deck podcast for all your baseball DFS needs with your superstar host, fantasy baseball experts, Casey, Bubba, and Bogman. On Deck podcast is sponsored by LineStar app, the #1 top-rated data and analytics tool for daily fantasy sports.
Back, everybody, to another episode of the On Deck MLB DFS podcast brought to you by the wonderful people at LineStar Sports. Make sure you check them out on Twitter at LineStar app and at LineStar MLB. And most importantly, download the app in the Google Play Store and the Apple App Store. You will not regret it. Everything you need to build your winning DFS lineups in all the sports. You can find myself on Twitter at BDentric. My co-host is always on Twitter at Bogman Sports. Scott Bogman, how we doing, man?
That smirk. I mean, just immediately. The smirk from you. We thought the Diamondbacks versus Giants game last night was over. When we stopped recording, it was the middle of the 8th inning. The Diamondbacks were up by 3 runs. We were actually here in the stream room talking to each other. And Yaz hits a walk-off, or not a walk-off, but a go-ahead grand slam by 1 run. Rogers comes in and closes it out. And that was I think that put a wrap on watching D-backs games for me for the rest of the year. I don't have them on tonight. I know that they're losing to the Giants as we speak. Of course, spotted a couple runs, as they have been and are just miserable. So, look, you guys that enjoy me coming on here and being miserable, it's probably going to go away. Everyone that hates it and wishes I didn't talk about the D-backs at the front of the show, that's going to be over with after tonight because I'm not going to be paying attention. I gotta let him go.
The best part about last night, besides, Yaz's grand slam and everything, is I'm watching the game, not watching my computer, and I'm ecstatic, and I look down and Bogman's already logged off. He's gone. Like, I'm by myself in this room because it was glorious. So, yeah, good times. Make sure you check out the LineStar YouTube page because you can see reactions throughout the show. There's usually a game on while we're recording for each of us, different games, but you can see stuff going on that might make you laugh. You might see a cat. You might see me get a cramp. You never know what you're going to see. But
well, I figure,
it's a spectacle.
I tried to keep Captain out of the shot, but I'm just going to be the Diamondbacks front office and just lose control of everything. So he just does whatever he wants. So
and there's cat people that play DFS, so there's nothing wrong with that.
He's the third host.
There you go. Captain. And he's a very welcomed third host. So I have no problem with that at all. He's always welcome to the party. Speaking of parties, Altuve doubled on Ryan Humphreys homers in 3 nights in a row. He's straight fuego right now. So
he's the opposite of the D-backs on fire.
He's got that going for him. So that's pretty big. Like I said, the Red Sox continue to put up 10 spot on the Braves tonight. The Indians and Orioles went off as expected. Lots of offense yet again. The shame of it all, DeGrom, 9 batters, 3 innings, 8 strikeouts, then leaves with a shoulder injury. But this goes back to like what we're saying. First off, we hope he's not seriously hurt, but this is getting redundant and ridiculous.
Yeah, but, you had it right last night, and I didn't. We talked about it. You said, "Are you fearing?" And I said, "Look, I'm just going to be Pollyanna here and pretend that it didn't happen and say that he's extra rested." And he is clearly just not. I mean, it's not an elbow, it's not a forearm, it's a shoulder.
No, it's a shoulder. It's something different every time. But the weird thing is, like we said last night, also. Is even when he left early last time, he had 30-something points. He pitched 3 innings, struck out 8 guys. He had almost 23 DK points. Like, the dude is he's going to outscore most pitchers still by throwing 3 innings. Like, it's crazy. It's absolutely insane.
Face 9 batters, struck out 8. It's absurd. So.
Like the single A team for the Cardinals says, "Welcome, hold my beer." Like it's crazy stuff. So I hope he's okay, but I'm starting to get nervous now. It's like every start. So
yeah,
might be another one to rack up there with the rest of. Hopefully it's not Glasnow-esque, of course, but it could be Bieber, Scherzer-esque, or just lose him again for a while. And
boy,
it seems
I enjoyed Glasnow talking about his injury. By the way, that was fun.
Yeah, I love it. That's like I talk about it on our shows that we do together. That the Chris Rose rotation. Sorry, shameless plug. I love it because he talks to like real ball players. Glasnow's on that show. I am so looking forward to his next episode with Glasnow because Giolito's talked about it. The hitters have talked about it. They've had all kinds of guys talk about it. BD Mountain, Rich Hill was a special guest last episode. He talked about it. Like, and they're giving the full on story. And they've mentioned the sunscreen thing. Even batters don't care about that because that gives command. That live like a hit in the ear hole. It's the sticky stuff that needs to get changed. But of course, baseball wants to ruin it. That's a whole other podcast for a whole nother day. But it's just Rob Manfred doing everything he can to ruin the game of baseball. Ooh. So, yes, but you guys are here for DFS. Let's win some money. 8-game slate for your Thursday. There's a couple days, day games, not a major day game slate. Getaway day, travel day, get ready for the weekend. But we do have 8-game main slate for you. Let's get cracking on it. We have the New York Yankees at the Toronto Blue Jays in this one. We have the wonderful, we have no totals because this is a good matchup here. We have King, who's been used mainly as kind of an opener. He's gone 4 or 5 once in a while, versus Zook. Both guys in the 6K range on both sites. I think we want bats, Bogman.
Yeah, let's go with bats. Let's go with Stanton, 55 and 4,000. Gardner, if he's in the lineup, is a nice cheap option, 3,024. LeMahieu, 45 and 34. Anwar, Gary Sanchez on the Toronto side. It's the usual suspects, right? Bo Bichette, Vlad, Simeon, Teoscar, Cavan's been hitting, and he's like the one cheap Blue Jay. So, let's stack some bats. They are expensive, though.
Yeah, Cavan went deep again on Wednesday. He's really swinging a hot bat since coming back from the IL about a week or so ago. I mentioned that Sanchez is actually hitting for average, hit another home run on Wednesday night. He's been sneaky nice. So if you want to get some of the back ends of the lineups to save some cash in this one, but there's going to be a lot of offense to be had in this game. A lot of bullpen, a lot of offense. Get your Blue Jays and Yankees. I kind of want to go on the Yankees side of this one because I kind of like that Toronto or the Yankees bullpen a little better than Toronto's, but it's anything can happen in Buffalo.
King's been all right. He just doesn't go deep enough.
Yeah, so. It's like the one game they let him go 5. He was pretty darn good. It's just you never know what they're going to do. It's happened. Heck, we saw like Canning on Wednesday. I didn't realize it was as bad, but he hasn't thrown more than 6 innings. He hasn't thrown more than 90 pitches. They yanked him after 5 innings and 72 pitches on Wednesday. Some of these teams are just babying these pitchers. So
well, you almost have to. If you don't baby them, they're all getting hurt. It's frustrating, man. It's been a frustrating year for injuries to pitchers.
It makes DFS much more playable, at least, because season long it's just like, who's got a red suitcase today? Right. Chicago Cubs at the New York Mets. We have Hendricks versus Marcus Stroman, over under 7.5 on this one. Hendricks 88 on both sites. Stroman 86 on DK, 99 on FanDuel. I can see arguments for both. I've had struggles getting Hendricks right this year. And this Mets offense, now that they're all kind of healthy, is starting to really swing it well. So I don't really want to use Hendricks, but I can definitely see going to Stroman against this Cubs offense, at least on DK as an SP2.
Yeah, Stroman, 5 quality starts in a row. And in those 32 to 8 K to walk ratio. And I think that's like 31, maybe 31 and some change innings, something like that. So I'm in on Stroman for sure, which kind of makes me out on Cubs bats. I mean, some of them have been nice here. Peterson and Wisdom have been hitting well, but give me some Mets bats. McCann, 3 for 7 against Hendricks. Jose Peraza, 6 for 19 with a double against him. And then VR and Alonso are both they both got to be in play today as well.
Yeah, and the Mets got a discount, especially on DraftKings, because of Hendricks on the mound. So one guy I really like, Dom Smith, 38 on DK, 28 on FanDuel, went deep again on Wednesday. He's hitting cleanup and hitting very, very well. John VR has been outstanding. Like you mentioned, he's 41 and 31. This Mets stack is going to be one of the better, potentially lower owned stacks. Like Hendricks could be good. Like if he shut him down, I wouldn't be shocked. But the low ownership of this Mets offense that we saw put up like 6 or 7 runs on Wednesday could definitely put up another big one if Hendricks that slips up at all, and the Cubs bullpen has not been good. So I like it, especially the value on Dom Smith, who's hitting very, very well of late. So ride that one while you can. St. Louis Cardinals at the Atlanta Braves. It sucks because the last couple John Gant starts have been on the weekend, Bogman, so I haven't got to do my parade of fun, but we get to on this one because John Gant versus Charlie Morton, over under of 9. Stack the Atlanta Braves.
Yeah, and Morton's got to be in play. He's got high K upside, and since June 1st, St. Louis has the second fewest runs in baseball, behind only the Padres. So interesting stat there. But what happened here? Another home run for the Giants. Yeah, yeah. He's giving the home run signal to me in the middle of my spiel here. Who hit this one? Was it Belt?
Steven Duggar.
Oh, wow. What a surprise. Steven Duggar hit a home run against the Diamondbacks. What is that, his 50th in this series? It's absurd. That's why I'm not watching. I'm getting mad. But I'm in on Charlie Morton today, which kind of makes me out on St. Louis bats. So, Acuna, Freeman, Albies, Heredia's been hitting when he's in there. Morton and some Braves bats, like you'd said.
Yeah, I'm really starting to get back in on Freeman. It was so weird because he went deep on Wednesday, so I started digging in on him some more.
Number 16.
I was just about to say it's the quietest 16 home runs, I think. He's because everyone's talking about how he's not hitting for average. He's hitting like 245 or so, but 16 homers, only 39 ribbies. But it's tough when Acuna drives everybody in front of him. So that makes it difficult. That's the quietest 16 home runs I think I've seen in a long time.
Yeah,
so
I was looking at expected batting average the other day. Welsh and I did Sierra and ERA on ITL, and then we did expecting batting average and batting average on Tuesday this week. And Freeman is one of those guys where his expected batting average is up over 300. It's just not, things are not falling for him, but they're going to. So like you said, quiet home run total, and he's batting with a low average, but that's all. I mean, it's going to change as the weather is hot now. It's not even heating up anymore. It's just hot now. It's
hot. And you get John Gant. So this is one of those, like you mentioned, the XBAs, like on a recent bench with Bowie, like the Soto and some other these guys that, like the stars that people have been disappointed in, but if they play to their expectations the rest of the way, it's going to be a really red hot summer. So get on Freeman while he's low owned, because there was a point last year where he's owned everywhere. Get Freeman. Albies are still affordable. They had, I think it was Guillermo Heredia batting cleanup on Wednesday, and he had a couple knocks, and he's 25 and 22. So see what the lineup comes out with. We can give him a couple cheap pieces to go with the Acunas and Freemans. The Atlanta stack, yes. If you've listened to any of my shows long enough, we will pound John Gant until he's back in the minor leagues. So just plan on that one coming. Chicago White Sox at the Houston Astros. Dylan Cease, Jose Urquidy, over under 9 on this one. Back-to-back homers. You got Cease 95 on DK, 92 on FanDuel, Urquidy 79 and 75. Cease is always a question mark because he's just inconsistent. Houston's bats are on fire, so it's a no for me. But Urquidy, very interesting tournament play against a White Sox team that's kind of scuffling.
Yeah, I mean, 2 out of the last 3 have been quality for him too. So he's in play tonight, especially a good price, 79 and 75, like you mentioned. I do like Cease, and he's looked like a different pitcher recently, but his 3 quality starts of his last 4, 2 are against Detroit, 1 was against Baltimore. So it's not like, and the one that was against Cleveland. So it's not like he's sneaking in any amazing performances or anything like that here. So I think Urquidy's in play, and then probably Houston bats as well. So, go with Altuve, who you mentioned hit 2 homers. Michael Brantley is on fire right now and cheap, 37 and 31. Jordan Alvarez, Miles Straw, Carlos Correa, all these guys are in play tonight.
Yeah, Bregman left with a quad injury, so he's going to be out for a little while. He looked really nasty there, so I'd expect him to miss a few games. Yeah. Kyle Tucker's still been out with a illness, so you have to keep an eye on that one. But you mentioned Alvarez. Brantley's been amazing. He's still super cheap. But I keep talking about it. Miles Straw went deep on Wednesday. He's super affordable, really doing well. And it gives you the wraparound stack. You can go Straw with Altuve and some of the guys at the top, or you can even go Brantley, Straw, too. You can mix and match it. McCormick double-donged at the bottom. He was playing because Tucker's been out. So there's starting to be a little bit of value in one of the best stacks in baseball right now. So, yeah, definitely get back on Houston. If Cease is on, he could shut him down. But we've seen him be so volatile at times. And then you get to that White Sox bullpen, you can have some fun there. So definitely Houston, very, very live. And I like Urquidy with that strikeout upside against that Chicago White Sox lineup. Cincinnati at San Diego, Wade Miley, Joe Musgrove, over under 7. This is a good one because you got Miley's 8K on DK, 77 on FanDuel, Musgrove 89 and 85. Cincinnati just got shut down by Peralta and Brett Anderson and a couple teams in Milwaukee. You got San Diego, who woke up in Colorado. Do they have the Colorado hangover we've seen from time to time? I can see arguments for both pitchers. I could also see arguments for using a little bit of offense. This is a very, very tough game for me.
I like Miley here. He's a nice cheap price at 8,077. 2 out of his last 3 have been quality. And the Padres have not been scoring. Like you said, yeah, they woke up in Colorado, but everybody wakes up in Colorado, right? Yep. So dead last in runs since June 1st are the Padres, like I had mentioned earlier. So I kind of like Miley. Musgrove, I just don't want to pay against the Reds because the Reds have been scoring a bunch of runs. They have, I think, the 6th lowest K percentage since that June 1st marker that I just used today to look up some stats. So I'm not going to pay for Musgrove, but I'm in on Miley, which also makes me in on some Reds bats here, a little PVB data. 4 for 12 for Machado against Miley with a bomb. 4 for 11 for Suarez with a double and a bomb against Musgrove. 4 for 14 for Votto with 2 doubles and a homer. Castellanos, Winker, Naquin have all been hitting as well. So I like the Reds against Musgrove.
Yeah, I don't mind the Reds as a nice contrarian angle because Musgrove's been kind of up and down. He's obviously no hitter. We've also seen him be hit at times. Coming back from Colorado can always be interesting on a team like San Diego. And then Miley, he's been outstanding of late, like you mentioned. So I've been using him quite a bit. If you are attacking Miley, realize he's a reverse splits pitcher. So lefties actually hit him better than righties. So keep that in mind if you're going to get creative with San Diego. But it's pretty much Miley if you want to use some Reds bats or just kind of leave that one alone. There's a lot of other spots to target on this slate, including Colorado. And this is going to be a great one for the next 4 days because you got Milwaukee versus the Rockies. It's going to be a good one. We got Brandon Woodruff, German Marquez, over under of 10 in this one. Woodruff's 10-2 and 10-8 in Colorado. Marquez is 55 and 9,000. I think Woodruff is very viable against this Rockies offense, even in Colorado. And Marquez on DK as an SP2, I've done it many times. This Milwaukee's offense is not that great right now. I can see an argument if you want to be contrarian on both pitchers.
Yeah, I'm absolutely with you, which is a little surprising. I didn't think we'd be in on either one, but Woodruff, like you mentioned, 11 and 13 starts are quality, high K rate. But we've seen Colorado obviously eat up pitchers before. So if you just, I think I would for sure be on Woodruff if he was a little cheaper, but you still have to pay up. So I'm probably not going to go with him in too many spots, even against Colorado. But that 5,500 on DK from Marquez, better at home. I like the price, so I'm kind of in. And there's just not a lot of bats either way to be in on here. Maybe Adames or Narvaez if you want to on Colorado. Go with McMahon, Tapia, Rogers, Daza, Blackman, any of those guys. You can, and they're not expensive. Tapia is 36 and 32. Rogers is 3,000, actually cheaper, or actually the same price. DK and FanDuel at 3,000. 31 and 27 for Daza, 46 and 33 for Blackman. So if you want to go with some of those bats, you can, obviously, because it's Colorado, but neither team has been hitting real well.
Yeah, I think I'm going with the pitchers in this one. But like you said, the bats are affordable. Like even Vogelbach in Colorado, that's like a slow pitch softball dream. So you got stuff like that. I don't know.
Vogelbach could be embodiment of Matt Stairs, right?
Yes, exactly. So I think everyone's going to go to the bats here like usual in Coors. I think you can go to the pitchers and fade the bats and make your lineup extremely different. And I wouldn't be shocked if we see like a 4-3 ball game, like we saw like before the Padres went bananas and Rockies on Wednesday. It was rather low scoring for Coors Field, even with the Padres in town. So Detroit at the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. Matt Manning making his debut against Shohei Ohtani. Over under of 9 on this one. 4,700 on DK, 6,300 for on FanDuel for Manning. I'll pass, but Ohtani, he's 11,000 on FanDuel. They've figured it out. DK still has him $8,100, and you just have to play him. Like DK just can't get it through their head at all.
Yeah, I mean, Detroit, like you said, striking out at a ridiculous rate, and Ohtani gets strikeouts. So you got to play him at 8,100. It's almost automatic. I know that the timeline is right for Matt Manning, but homie had a 8 ERA in AAA.
Was not good to him right now.
I mean, like I said, the timing is right. So hopefully he'll get some good instruction. Stuff will start to break for him. But right now he's just an innings eater. So no way. I mean, it's Ohtani, and like you mentioned before, Max Stassi just hitting 4,032. He's priced up a little bit. Jared Walsh 5,037. Jose Iglesias 37 and 27. Those are the bats that I like for the Angels today.
Yeah, throw Justin Upton on that one. I think the Angels will be a very good late night stack if you want, because Manning's been kind of messy. Don't see him going too long, and then you get Detroit's bullpen for probably 5 to 6 innings is what I'm kind of projecting for. And if you get 5 innings, 4 to 5 innings, you're happy. I think it's 5 to 6. I just don't see Manning going very long. So Angels bats can be very, very nice. Late night hammer, but Ohtani at 81 is just ridiculous. Like we say it every show, DK just can't figure it out for some reason. Tampa Bay at the Seattle Mariners wraps up our 8-game slate. We get Rich Hill, Big D Mountain against Justin Dunn, over under of 8.5 on this one. Hill's 92 and 83 respectively, done 67 and 7,000. We've seen both these guys be good. We've seen them both be bad. So are you on either pitcher tonight?
I mean, I think Hill probably needs to be in play because Seattle just strike. I once again I looked at June 1st. Seattle has the highest K percentage since June 1st. Dunn is a pass for me, but I think Hill's probably in play. Who do you go with between Hill, Morton, and Stroman? Who would you want out of that trio?
I probably want Stroman, but Hill's close. Hill's close.
I think I want Morton, but I'm with you. I think Hill's he might be third.
Yeah, he's interesting because you never know if like you say blisters. He hasn't had any all year, but he always finds a way to get pulled early for something.
Blister God. The Welsh gave him the Blister God nickname, and we've seen Hill strike out 13, so that can happen. But definitely. Also probably seen him strike out 2. I don't have his numbers in front of me, but I know he's been up and down. So.
Well, and I also like Seattle. Like they're striking out a lot, but they're hitting left-handed pitchers much better of late. So
yeah,
like France is getting healthy, Haniger's back. Yeah, it's getting better slowly but surely.
Yeah, exactly. So Rich Hill definitely in play. Yeah, I'm looking 13 is his high and 1 is his low. He only pitched 2 innings against the Royals and only got 1 strikeout, but he's also had a couple 2s in there. But if you don't want to go with Hill, Fraley, Crawford, Haniger, France have been hitting. I think Rosarena's on a heater right now, so you want to play him. And if Kiermaier's in the lineup, he's been hitting too. So those are the bats that I like from this one.
Let's do a quick recap of things, Bogman. Pitchers wise, your top priced options. We're looking like the Woodruffs, the Ceases. Who's your top pay up spot at pitcher?
I think who I want tonight are probably some mix of Stroman or Morton, and then Ohtani as a definite. So Stroman, Morton, and Ohtani are the guys that I like tonight.
Yeah, Ohtani's just like a must. Probably my favorite price, like point per dollar guy. But I'm going to be stuck with some Woodruff for sure. And I think Urquidy against the White Sox could come in very, very low owned in that one as well. We mentioned Marquez. What are some of your top stacks tonight?
For stacks, I mean, we mentioned either side of New York and Toronto, probably leaning on the New York side a little bit more. Atlanta against Gant, as you mentioned before. I think you can stack Houston if you want because they're hitting. I like a little mini stack of Cincinnati against Musgrove there, and that's probably it as far as stacks go.
Yeah, there's a lot of cases to be made for teams, but my main 2, Atlanta, Houston. Let's rock and roll. Those are the 2 I want a ton of because our good buddy John Gant's playing. And John Gant's going to give up a lot of home runs, folks. So if you follow LineStar on Twitter at LineStar app and at LineStar MLB, they tweet out a lot of great content, but every day they tweet out the home run calls of the day. And like I said earlier, Ryan Humphreys has had 3 days in a row. He is literally on fire in NBA Jam right now. So he's got that going for him. And if you retweet the tweet, 1 or 3 lucky retweeters will get chosen to pair up with each one of us. And if one of our guys goes yard, you win some free swag. So Bogman, on Thursday, June 17th, who is your home run call of the day?
Give me Randy Arozarena against Justin Dunn. So I like him on a heater. The dude's just otherworldly when he's hot, and that's what he is right now. So give me Randy.
So hot, Hansel hot.
Hansel.
But I'm going to go with the chalk here, and I'm going to go with Ronald Acuna Jr. He might lead off the game with a home run off of John Gant. He might hit 2 home runs off of John Gant. He might put John Gant in his grave on Thursday night. Like, it's going to be beautiful. So yeah, give me Acuna. If you want to just, go with like 4 Braves home runs, go for it. I don't care. They're going to hit all of them on Thursday night. So it's going to be a thing of absolute beauty. But another thing of beauty, that'll wrap up our Thursday 8-game preview. Check out Bogman on Twitter at Bogman Sports. I'm at BD Hendrick. Make sure to download the podcast and give it a rating and review on iTunes, and also get the app in the Apple App Store and Google Play Store. We'll have a big, massive 15-game slate for you on Friday. But until next time, good luck.
Good luck.
Thank you for listening to the LineStar app On Deck podcast. Download LineStar app from the App Store or go to LineStarApp.com for all your DFS baseball needs. If you love the On Deck podcast, support KC, Bubba, and Bogman by rating and subscribing. Good luck.